And greetings YouTube gamers, welcome to another episode of Retro Raider. My name is Johnny Retro and welcome to the channel. So today's episode is going to be a little bit different from the stuff that I usually do because something very special happened to me this week. I got a game that I've been waiting 22 years to get on my collection. So let me tell you a story to put you into context. So for my 8th birthday, my parents gave me what it was supposed to be my first video game console. And that system was the Sega Saturn. So when I got back from school, the system was already there for me. But for some unfortunate reason, the unit that I got was actually broken. It was not reading the games very well. So what my parents did was that, they packed everything up again, they went to the store and they traded, but they were so pissed that they didn't want another Sega Saturn unit, so they actually traded for a PlayStation 1 which was already out. Now looking back to the past, that was actually what I like to call an unfortunate mistake because I grew up with the PlayStation 1, so many good memories with that system, and it's actually my favorite video game console of all time. But there was this one game that I really wanted to play on the Sega Saturn, and unfortunately it was an exclusive one for the system. And that game is Nights into Dreams. Now, back in the day, I used to read a lot of gaming magazines, and I was obsessed with Nights into Dreams. I was just obsessed. In gaming stores, we had like these, I don't know what is it called, I think it's like these kiosks where you had a TV inside, and you had a system hooked up in which you could play in the store. And each time I saw Nights into Dreams, when the Sega Saturn was out, I would spend as much as I could with the controller in my hand playing that game. Now, looking back into the past, as a grown man and as a gaming collector, I honestly don't pay that much attention to the Sega Saturn. I don't hate the system, of course. I'm actually a huge fan of Sega in general, but the Sega Saturn just, didn't stick up with me. But I do own a couple of games for it. So what happened this week was that a couple of customers of mine, they sent me an email with a list of Mega Drive games that they wanted for their collection. Unfortunately enough, I actually knew about a guy that was selling his entire gaming collection. So I got in touch with this guy, and he actually had a very nice selection of Mega Drive games. And I said that if he could make me a good price if I take the whole lot, which he did. But when I was leaving, I saw this. And this right here was the only Sega Saturn item that he had. So I took a leap of faith and said, well, I'm going to take all of this stuff. Could you include this? And the guy just said, sure, why not? So what this is a very cool, interesting edition of Nights into Dreams. You have the game, but you also have the 3D controller. Now, of course that you can play the game with the standard controller, but the controls of the game are very, very tight, very precise, and it's much better to play with this one. And the funny thing is that I knew about this edition, but I never saw a PAL unit of it. So now I'm very proud to say that this is the crown jewel of my Sega Saturn collection. What I find interesting about Nights into Dreams in the current retro gaming scene is that, although this game was a huge hit, I honestly think that this has become a hidden gem. There's not a lot of people talking about this game. Looking back, this is not a super hard game, and it's actually very quick. It's a game that ends very quickly, and it leaves you that sensation that it could be more. I see it as like this, tech demo game, because the point of it was to show the true potential of the Sega Saturn, and the game works perfectly for that. So for those of you who don't know about this game, you play as two kids, the boy Elliot and the girl Clarice. They are two teenagers from a city called Twin Seeds, and the thing is that they got caught into dreams. So when they go to sleep, they wake up in this alternative world called Nightopia. And in Nightopia, they wake up this guy named Nights, which is this little fellow right here. So in Nightopia, you have to destroy the evil guy who is destroying everything, which is Wiseman the Wicked. And this game plays very much like, imagine Sonic the Hedgehog on speed. The game is super, super fast. You have to collect a bunch of spheres to get to the next level. And it's very challenging. The only thing that I didn't like about the game back in the day is that it is timed, but now I can live with it. So just to show you guys very quickly what's inside the box, this is the outside box of the game, and on the inside we have the controller, which is pretty much in mint condition, impeccable shape. You have the game and the manuals for both the game and the controller. Very decent shape indeed. I am very happy with this pick. Now I'm going to totally geek out here, but I actually record some footage of me playing the game for the first time in more than 22 years, so let's take a look. 22 years waiting for this. 22 freaking years. I got the controller in my hand, the game's on the system, let's give it a try. Sega! Sega Saturn. I didn't remember, the guys that made Sonic made this game. Here we go! Oh my god. This was a big thing back in the day, you know, cutscenes. Yeah, I'll pick Elliot. Oh my god. There's Knights! Wow. This is like emotional to me. This is exactly what I remember. You know, it's amazing. I feel like the circle is complete now, and the game holds on pretty well, pretty damn well. That was it, guys. I think that this game is a must-have for every Sega collector out there. It's a piece of history of retro gaming. But unfortunately, with the prices of Sega Saturn rising up, I would run fast to get a copy of this. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comment section below if you guys played this back in the day, or if you have it in your collection now. Don't forget to put a like on this video, please subscribe to the channel, and take care of yourselves, take care of the gaming community, and game a lot.